All right. Thank you all for sticking with us. We got off to a later start than we had anticipated. We wanted to hear out some concerns from some of the island residents. And so we did, and now we're ready to begin the business of the governance committee meeting. Let me call our committee into order and take attendance of committee meeting members who are present. Myself, Conway Echo, present. Mark Clough.
And Megan Anderson.
Great. All committee members are present, calling the meeting officially to order. I want to also acknowledge in the room, we have Faye and Lydia, and I also see on the line McCall and Howard, who per our bylaws, I want to announce that they are here in their observation capacities only, as we have not provided any notice of any board meetings, and we are well over the 5-person quorum for a board meeting. So thank you all for attending, and we'll continue with the business of the governance committee meeting. And so we have 3 policies that we want to run through tonight. Yeah, the time is 5:58 p.m. We have 3 policies to run through tonight for updating that haven't been updated in quite some time, and then we will call for an executive session later to discuss matters pertinent to the governance committee meeting in closed session. All right. Moving into the first policy we have up on the screen. Let me share the screen if I can.
You're already sharing the vehicle policy, if that's.
Oh, great. Well, you can see it. For some reason, I
you guys can't. Okay.
Hold on. Let me stop and restart.
No, not Windows. There.
There we go. You guys can see that? On
Yes.
the line?
Yep.
All right, great. We're back. Okay. Starting off with the vehicle usage policy. This is the policy spelling out the rules for personal use of vehicles on REOC business. It's very short, just really 3 pages, 2 pages, 3 pages. So hopefully not a lot of edits to get through here. Going to the first, we have an addition here. I think, Megan, you added this in the second paragraph. You maybe want to speak to, I know you dropped a comment here.
Sure. I just,
yeah.
I just thought the policy just needed a little bit of an explanation of what we're doing, what it's for, and that, in normal business, like personal vehicles can be used, but they're usually the last option. And if it's the most economical, if it's the only, like, if there's physical limitations for an individual and they need their own vehicle, things like that. This paragraph was pulled word for word from the state controller's travel manual, which is the standard that all state employees use for travel. So if anyone has an issue with including it, I'm fine with taking that out. I just thought it jumps right into like policy, and I just thought maybe there needed a little bit more of explanation of what we're doing.
Yeah. I looked at it last week. It looks fine to me. Mark, do you have a view on?
No, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's I'm not a huge fan of preamble statements, but it's fine.
Yeah. Good stuff there. Great. So I think we're aligned on the second paragraph. This third paragraph is taken from suggestions that Lydia had made in terms of making clear that REOC gas should not be used inappropriately if it's not REOC business. I'll give everybody a second to view the language, and if you have any comments, let them know.
I have one comment on it, but it's
Yeah,
nothing
go for it.
crazy. I think the placement is a little awkward and it should maybe be moved to the implementation and compliance section, but that's all.
Okay. Sure.
Or.
So in 3 or 4? Okay, but Mark, Megan, any substantive
I actually have a.
edits or objections?
Yeah, it's the third sentence, any use of fuel resource and POV regardless of purpose shall be construed of a misuse of corporate assets that may be subject to employee disciplinary to including termination. I think it's just a little, you already have a statement that it shouldn't be done. I think that last sentence it's a bit much.
Okay,
Because it's deeming it to be a breach of code of ethics. I'm not sure if that's appropriate.
so,
Because it takes it beyond, by being it part of the code of ethics, takes it beyond a breach of policy. And I think it makes it somehow a distinct and different violation.
yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think it's kind of also just kind of spelling out what could happen, because that is one possible outcome under the code of ethics. If you violate our code of ethics as an employee, then you may be terminated. So this isn't creating anything new
Right.
as much as it is just restating what exists already. Yeah.
Charge ethanol oil will not be allowed. It already comes.
So maybe, a lot of just pointing out in the previous paragraph, the last line kind of says this already, so maybe it might be a little bit redundant.
Charge.
Charges for gasoline, oil accessories will not be allowed. So, then what begs the question, do we need this paragraph then if we have that sentence?
I think this excerpt from the Office of the State Control Travel Manual explicitly states that is not allowed. So we're just repeating it in other words.
Do you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah.
Has there been a history of abuse of the REAC gas? Like, is there a history?
I gotta defer to the institutional knowledge in the room here.
No, this, I was never aware that the personal vehicles use reactone catalyst in the first place. But this policy specifically covers personally owned vehicles that are used as a business vehicle for the corporation, and it's not allowed for the Office of State Controller. So I'm not sure whether any REAC employee was fueling his vehicle, which is not a part,
Sure.
which is not used for business purposes with REAC fuel.
So to your knowledge,
I
this has
don't
not been a rampant or frequent
To
problem.
my knowledge, it's not, but who,
I brought it up. I know that years ago, maybe before your time. I'm sorry, I'm observing, but that's why I brought up. Because it was.
okay, but technically it would be by itself violation of code of ethics and other,
Sure.
laws in itself, if it happened in the past. I'm not sure whether it needs to be in this particular policy, because the policy covers personally owned vehicles that are used for business purposes. And I think we are trying to put this provision prohibiting use of fuel, well, any personal vehicle, which is not even covered by the policy. We are only here talking about personal owned vehicles that's used for business purposes. And the preceding paragraph from the Office of State Control Travel Manual already says the charges for gasoline, oil, accessories, etc., and other expenditures will not be allowed.
Can I make a suggestion? 'Cause I think there's a lot of repeat in it.
I think it's repetitive.
Yeah, sure.
If we keep the second paragraph and then take that first sentence of the proposed third paragraph and add it to the end of it, that all the subject matters are dealt with. Because here you have in the second paragraph, first it talks about you can't use the personal vehicle may be used when the REAC vehicle or common carrier is not available. then talks about mileage reimbursement rates, charges for gasoline, oil, and that they consider operational costs. And then if you add on that first sentence, third, REAC owned or REAC purchased fuel may not be used to operate a POV under any circumstances, whether for person use or official REAC business.
So
It will
keep
cover
that first sentence.
Yeah, that first
And then-
sentence becomes the conclusion
I
of the
see.
second paragraph.
Okay,
And then we,
we
it's
can,
just, everything else is
remove the
becomes
rest?
redundant. Yeah.
all right, so we'll strike that part. And we'll move this up to be the end of. If I can.
Don't worry about format example.
Okay, all
No,
right.
it's a form, yeah, now
Yeah,
you-
I'll make sure it's one paragraph.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
Problem
let
with-
me undo that. There we go. All right.
You know, it's the problem of words.
Yeah,
Codes
yeah.
are hidden. It's a difference between
Yes,
the words.
You even moved it, but you don't see it until
Yeah,
you
no,
yeah,
accept the
it's-
quick version. So don't worry,
I'll just leave it.
reformat.
Note. Legal. If I can type. Erase the space. All right. Got it. Awesome. Thank you for that. I'm just gonna collapse. All right. Moving on. Changes there. Looks like we got an edit here. Personally owned vehicle usage definition means the use of a non-state vehicle. And we added personally owned by an employee working for an agency or authority while in the course of state employment.
Mhm.
That seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yep.
Yep, all right. Let's see, we have a comment here. I got the gap.
Yes, so that's the same issue here.
All right,
I
done.
removed the huge gap, but it doesn't show yet because it's not.
Got it.
You go to home, reveal codes, and not take it out.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll let them do that later.
Yeah, don't worry.
All right, okay. And section B, so we're in section 3C. 3 is personally owned vehicle usage.
I just, the second, this new paragraph, this is, I'm sorry, so the first paragraph, any REAC employee, and then REAC employees, is that part of that first paragraph, or is it,
I think it's a separate.
then should that be a B? I know I'm geeking out.
I think it should be sub, because it all relates to 15,000 miles.
Okay.
And we're exceeding this threshold, so it's logically related to this first paragraph.
Okay, so maybe make this,
AI.
use the keyboard.
Subsection,
Yeah, I'll make it subsection.
Okay,
Oh, that's it. The second one also talks about threshold, actually.
all right, noted. We're gonna make that a subsection of A. Okay, down to C, if REAC, I think I made that edit, instead of requires needs
what's the difference?
to purchase, it may not be required to do it.
Like a lower standard?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm good with that.
I think it said if REAC requires to purchase additional vehicles. We're never required to purchase additional vehicles, but if
Yeah, we need.
we may have a need to.
Correct.
So I think that was what I was getting at there.
REAC is required
Small
for
semantics.
the budget bulletin, but not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Then yada, 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 REAC will follow the procedures set forth in the budget bulletin. D, there's supposed to be a 0 in front of that 750, and that is revised as of July 11, 2023, so that's just a fact. Yeah, no problem there. Moving moving on, section 4, looks like we have some deletions here. Implementation and compliance, section A. So I think a lot of this might have been you.
Yes, just want to clarify that at the moment, REACT does not have any personally owned vehicle used for business purposes. So technically, to comply with this policy, you should have this personally owned vehicle used for business purposes. So we are not required to report anything that we don't have yet. There was a situation in 2015 that certain personal owned vehicle was used for state purposes. And this is why we implemented this policy. At the moment, there are no vehicles owned by employees that are used for business purposes. So this reporting requirements are not kind of applicable at the moment.
Okay,
If we have any vehicle, personal owned vehicle that will be used for REACT purposes, we will certainly report this to
Sure.
OGS, to other,
sure.
yes, and we'll, because no vehicles covered under the policy at the moment.
Okay.
So it's a hypothetical policy at the moment because there are no vehicles covered.
Okay.
B,
Actually,
oh, you got something up, Fred?
is it now just one paragraph, like, not A or B, or?
Yeah, we can have just one paragraph.
I'm just asking, because the A was struck out.
Oh,
I think it
Maybe
might
by
have been a
accident.
mistake.
I think it should be, yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's by accident.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is still A and this is still B.
Got it,
Yes.
works. I don't think that's
I'm-
easy to fix.
Just one thing, I'm just looking quickly, is OGS defined anywhere as Office of General Services?
Probably not.
I don't see it, but I could be missing it in all the track changes, but I just think we should just make sure somewhere it says that, just so it's clear.
No, it is, it is in the first paragraph. Last
Oh, it is,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
great. Yep, awesome.
Good eye, good eye.
Oh, wow.
You must be an attorney.
Yeah, well, I geek out on that stuff. Are you telling me like the details about the like paragraphs and, yeah, no, this is good for me.
Yeah, good catch, Megan. All right, moving on from this. No other issues here for B.
Nope.
All right. And congratulations,
That's it.
folks. That's the first one. All right. Next, policies and procedures for travel. All right, let me save this. I think it auto saves, but yeah, it does.
Oh, I got two. I think I'm missing the,
You need the travel?
That's excellent.
yes, that's,
Okay.
thank you.
Next, we're gonna do the travel, which is,
I haven't.
Okay.
I thought you changed it.
and I need to share this with you guys. You guys go. Okay. Can you see the document online? Good? Okay.
Colors and verbs.
Yeah.
Yes. What is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a little bit longer, but not much. So here's our policies and procedures regarding travel and personnel. So this gets into per diems and reimbursements and things of that nature for business-related travel. All right, first paragraph. I made this strike. It looks like a lot of you added in the actual what it should be. So it used to read as required by section 2824 1E of the Public Authorities Law of the State of New York, and it used to say, and the directive of the Office of Taxpayer Accountability dated in August of 2009. The problem with that is that the directive, the Office of the Taxpayer Accountability has been folded into, is no longer exists as a standing agency, but it looks like you found the appropriate
Yes,
Re-
that's
reference.
the same guideline.
So it should be the
State
Office of
control.
State Controller guidelines. Okay, awesome. We're good there. Anything on that? All right, cool.
Nope.
These policies and procedures apply to each and every officer, director, and employee, collectively personnel.
Could I make, do you want to do individually and collectively, and then the personnel thing is a little off?
Oh, apply individually and,
No. These policies apply to each and every officer, director, and, or employee, and then under the parenthetical, individually and collectively personnel,
Yes, individual and collective.
and then fix the quote, 'cause it's
yeah, that's weird.
you get rid of the comma and then just have a, yeah. Perfect.
I think you need, oh, there, okay.
It's a stylistic thing.
Yeah.
Shut up on that one. I have a thing against unnecessary
Yeah,
spaces.
that can go either way. Okay.
Is there a deleted space between parenthetical and the other?
Yeah, looks like it. Add a space here. Yep. Of the corporation traveling on business for the corporation who seeks reimbursement of expenses incurred on behalf of the corporation. Deleting the colon, but we should have some kind of punctuation there. Period.
That should be-
All right.
Well, why do we delete the colon?
Yep.
Maybe accident.
Let me see, these policies and procedures apply to each and every. Yeah, because it's not introducing anything. Like these, I guess these sub-bullets are standalone.
It's not these policies as in the ones below, referring to those, as in like the
I-
following.
Good question. Are we interpreting 1 through whatever as these policies, or is these policies a reference to the entire document?
It doesn't matter to me either way. I mean, I just thought maybe
Originally-
that's what it was.
I think you might be right, Megan. I think it's probably referring to 1 through 6, 1 through however many we have. So then we need the colon back.
Not to completely insane, but we might want to get rid of the colon after corporation, have that as period, because then it almost doesn't make sense to have a colon there and then the colon after the next paragraph.
Where's the one after the next paragraph?
Oh, yeah, there's one in the first paragraph
Yes,
too.
Yeah.
Too many colons.
Yeah.
And also doesn't make sense there because you then have another paragraph.
Yep.
But once again, I geek out on that.
No, I totally missed that. Yeah, good catch. That's why it's a group.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have that established, so what are these policies? These policies, looks like at 1, we have mass transit must be the first choice of transportation mode. If available, employees will not be reimbursed for any other mode of travel to destinations where mass transit is available unless room at 1, due to exigent unforeseen circumstances. An employee must travel by car because mass transit isn't available at the time the employee has to travel, or Romanet 2, airline travel is more efficient and cost effective. Travel by car or airline must be approved by REOC's president/chief executive officer. This guy.
It shouldn't be,
Okay.
but it should be corporation's president, very defined, Riacus Corporation.
Where you at?
Number 1, because we already defined up in the first paragraph, REOC, the Roosevelt Island Operating Corp as the corporation, then it's not REOC's president, it's the corporation's president.
Got it. Or if we use REOC a lot,
Corporation or.
we should change the definition at the top
I think
to include both.
Yeah, REOC and or the corporation.
Yeah. Yeah, good catch.
And or.
Cool. Now we got both. Now we're good. So, all right, gotta be approved by the CEO. Next line, no car shall be dedicated to specific individuals, except in extraordinary circumstances approved by the corporation's president slash CEO. No issue there, just like, looks like going back to terms. 3, the change is per diem rates. So in circumstances where neither mass transit nor a pool car, it could be a carpool, but never mind, is available, employees may use the least expensive option, yada, yada, yada. Employees must use a trip calculator available at the website of the New York State Office of General Services. Per diem rates, GSA. And have we defined GSA by this point yet?
Yes, it's Office of General Services. It's the preceding, that's all the New York State Office of General Services. I think
No,
we
the
should say-
GSA is the federal one.
Yes, we need to say in line, in paragraph number 3,
Uh-huh.
after the New York Office of General Services, we need to define GSA.
Oh, sorry.
Because this one is a link, actually.
Sure.
But it's not a link to OGS, isn't it a link to the GSA? Because that's what OGS
Oh.
links to. OGS defers to the GSA rates. So depending on where this link goes.
So there are two general services. There's the New
So-
York State and
There's
the
the state-
federal.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Got it.
So New York State
Federal-
Office of General Services uses federal.
Yeah, federal dictates the rates and the state follows those rates.
Okay. So this, you're saying is a link, what is GSA? This is.
General
General
Services
Administration.
Administration.
Okay, and we haven't defined GSA yet,
Yeah,
right?
it's a, yes, and the link provided from the Office of General Services to GSA link.
What should we say? So what we're trying to say here is per diem rates as provided by the
Yeah.
GSA?
No, but you gotta be careful because that's a defined link, right?
Yes,
So
that's
if
the
you
link,
modify
actually.
it, you might cut off the link.
Honestly, we only speak about GSA, later in the, travel reimbursement.
Yeah.
Do we want to include links like that? I mean, because if they are broken in any way, late moved from the original locations, like, you just want to
think-
refer them to the GSA, that's where they are. I mean, it's,
I think in.
and they're on the
actually,
OGS website.
Because we do provide the link to General Services Administration later in received method 2, so it's maybe repetitive.
I guess I
And
had
also-
more of a question about, like, globally about putting links in here.
Yeah,
In a hard copy.
Right.
you know, but it-
I'm sorry, Nick, what was the question? Should we not
Because
have a link in?
Yeah, I'm just from how many times are we gonna go through this document in the future? Are we, if links are not
I think
act-
we
like,
can-
Yeah.
working, if things are moved later, names are changed, things like that.
Sure.
If we just defer to the New York State Office of General Services travel page or the state controller travel manual, it's covered.
Okay. Yeah, if you're citing if you have a link in a court document, you have to provide the date of citation,
The last,
Yeah.
last seen that.
Yeah. Unless you're citing to case law, to Lexis or Westlaw, an official location. But yeah, that makes sense. If this is a living, ongoing document, you probably don't want that.
I think
That's
it's
my
safe to
opinion.
remove this link here because we
Go for it.
talked about this in the next paragraph.
So we'll say remove the hyperlink, we're okay with that?
Yes, because we addressing this in the next paragraph and further that, U.S. General Services Administration.
Okay. Okay, removing the hyperlink, I'd like the comment, so you guys will get to that. Put you over here. Okay, where are we? 4.
3,
Oh, we're still on 3.
that's where we just ended.
Yeah, I meant, sorry, I meant ready to move on to 4. Looks like we struck the GSA.gov for GSA.gov travel plan book per diem rates. And so maybe same issue.
Yeah, we can just define the U.S. General Services Administration, put GSA website, at the website of the GSA.
Yeah,
Because the links could change and we need to keep it active all the time. And if it won't be active on the website, it's useless. So we'd rather say at the website, all this and correct it.
sure. Okay. And looks like we added the word written, saying prior written approval. Looks fine to me. Any objection? All right, moving on to 6. Looks like we got a new section here, 6, added.
Oh, wait, can we go to number 5? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I think we should strike that. Purchasing tickets in bulk is not the standard anymore. Most of them are electronic now. And as far as I know, most of the railway companies are not issuing bulk tickets to entities.
Okay. The whole, so yeah, all right, striking.
Yeah.
All right, so now the new 5, official station should be the employee's usual work location. Okay, good, you got picked up my comment. Employees are in travel status when they are 35 miles or more from both their official station and their home. The designation of official station will be determined by agency management in the best interest of the state and not for the convenience of the employee. Official station designation relates to the position, not to the person. Travel
Should state be REOC? And because this looks like it's coming from the OSC manual.
Yeah, that's direct language from the manual. Maybe we should say in the best interest of REIAC, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Got it. Travel between the employee's home and official station is considered commuting and should not be reimbursed. All right. Any thoughts on that other than the REOC change? Okay. When employees are on assignment at a work location 35 miles or more from both their official station and their home, they are considered in travel status and are eligible for reimbursement of travel expenses in accordance with this policy. Employees must obtain appropriate approvals prior to traveling for an assignment. Anything there?
Nope, no changes.
Directly from the manual.
All right. Moving on.
Reimbursement.
All right, reimbursement. Unreceipted method 1. Looks like we have a comment on the rates are established. I said, consider whether we need to specify here that the travel reimbursement is calculated from the employee's home. You just did that, so this is resolved.
Great.
Is it the section based on the city or county? Because the
rates
for a hotel
change.
in New York City.
They change geographically.
Yeah. And then you said,
From the
and then
manual. That's exactly the same rate we copy.
okay,
But when it's received,
I couldn't,
then it will be. similar.
you know what, I didn't doubt you, but it was just sad to see that the rates have not changed since 2013.
Yeah. I wonder though, should we have this table because there is a potential they do change? Do we need it?
we can,
I'm just
I'm
I'm
asking.
looking at the
Just-
version from 2024.
Yeah.
It's still the same with the Office of State Controller, but also it could change. And or we can just say that we are saying that we are following the Office of State Controller manual, so we can just
That's,
check.
I mean, it's fine to leave it. I'm just,
Yeah, I
Yes.
Yes,
think,
because say current, we have to like always change it, but maybe we should say that the rate should follow current rates that's established by the Office of State Controller in their travel manual.
okay, and then just point people to the
Yes,
manual
because
without
that's
providing.
exactly what the manual says. We just.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, well, it hasn't changed in 13 years. But I'm fine to take this out and just point people to the source, which is a better practice. So we can make a note here. We'll-
We can say current rates are available
Yeah.
in the travel manual by the Office of State Control, on the Office of State Controller travel manual.
What is up with this thing, man? They're not tracking.
is there a travel person and like staff person that like we could refer like a travel unit or something? Like we could say if you have questions regarding the rates or where to find them.
We actually have the reference
Please
to
talk
finance
to-
code in
Okay.
number 4. Of course, that's the agency, rates the agency finance office, and it's like, I know in the past it was controller
Okay.
who was verifying your rents, but we can say finance or legal department to verify the rate.
It was just a suggestion if there's a question on where to find them.
Okay. And then, so then we'll update. Current rates are available at, what's the name of this place?
Office of State Controller. They call the document travel manual, but Division of Contracts and Expenditures. Or we can say Office of State Controller
Okay,
website.
website. Okay, got it. There were, was it a comment?
And now we have $5 for $5
Oh,
for breakfast.
yeah, I guess I have the same comment, so
Oh my
I'll
goodness.
resolve my comment.
Yeah,
here,
it's
'cause-
yeah, it's
For additional sum, we can say additional sum and see Office of State Controller, an additional sum or allowance
Resolve.
or additional without actually putting the amount.
I'll say allowance. Allowance is usually the term.
Yes, allowance, exactly.
Resolve. Okay. $5 for breakfast, that's, is that even an orange juice? Barely, I don't even think that's a coffee. Okay.
If it is, it's probably a bad one.
Maybe McDonald's.
I don't know, some carts, I think, still
Yeah.
do that. The breakfast sandwich.
On
You got,
on the vendor outside, yeah.
I love those sandwiches.
Same issue with the website. We want to just point them to a generally without, I guess, providing the link, so I'll put the comment there.
It's gonna be silly. Are people just given this as, these documents as PDFs? Or are they actually given printed out versions too?
PDF.
Okay.
And we post on the website, so the links are active in PDF, but they could change.
Yeah. Let's see. And this addition, meals per diem, receipts are required for expenses not included in the fixed rate allowances for meals, lodging. This is the same language we have, so no problem there.
We don't need the S. Need a S.
Oh, we missed something?
The method to meals.
Oh, no, it's just, this is the method two. So,
Method two.
yeah, this is method two, and then this one is method one. So it's not that there are two meals, but
Yeah, no,
the method number two,
Yeah, number one was unreceipted method, number two is receipted method.
yeah,
It's just,
but not for meals when using method two. Meal,
I think it should.
meal per diems. I think it's trying to say method two per diems. We could just.
oh, I see what's going
Something
on
needs to
here.
be there.
Yeah,
Not for nothing.
when using method two. I mean, it's okay as it is, but.
Oh.
When using per diems for, yeah, method two. How about that? Just a little stylistic change. How about that?
I think that's clear.
All right.
I mean, do we actually need the method two?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, because
We-
we're in that,
we're-
yeah, you want to be
Yeah, it's
clear
a
about.
distinct, yeah, it's very different
What-
between 1 and 2, what you can and can't
Yeah.
do.
But I'm saying, this is with, the paragraph is within receipt method too.
I know,
So it,
but it's good to have
okay,
the belt and suspenders.
all right, all right.
Yeah. Let's see, we got some additional language here. Section 4, what is this? Article 13.4.d of meals and incident expense breakdown. Is this from, I'm assuming
Yes, the Office of State Controller Guide to Financial Operations, that's existing chapter, but we can say section 4D for current meal allowance without providing the actual,
Hyperlink,
Yeah.
hyperlink, yeah.
again, that's the same.
Yeah,
There's
got it. Okay. Finally, on occasion, travelers may be unable to find a hotel at a rate that does not exceed the maximum federal lodging per diem rate for the location of travel. If that occurs, travelers obtain prior written approval from their finance officer, finance office.
I think it's office, yes, so
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
ignore my comment.
Yeah.
It's not safe hotel, it's finance office, we have it in,
To exceed the
It's
federal
in
lodging
four,
per diem
yes.
rate. Okay, yes, makes sense. Good. The same, I'll just make general comments here for the links.
She wants to ask a question.
Yeah.
What's your question?
So is everybody in the finance office considered an officer?
Oh,
So if the approval is from anybody in the finance office, that could be.
well, whoever has authority to speak on behalf of the office.
So I think you need to like, define that because, you know, if it's.
No, it's not officer, we took out the part.
Right.
It's their finance office.
It's their finance
is
office.
the whole.
It's the
So whoever
department.
runs the office.
Yeah, it's the department, it's not an individual. And, the only one who is runs the department, is the person in charge.
No, no,
So a secretary in the finance office doesn't have authority to approve, but the CFO would have a right
yeah,
to
that's,
approve.
which it doesn't, that's not what it says.
I would honestly think that someone with authority in finance office, which could be either CFO or maybe CEO, because
So are there designee?
Yeah.
CEO or the designee. This is kind of office. Thank you. Appreciate
How about that?
Good.
Yep.
okay.
The appropriate person with authority in their finance office to exceed the federal law improvement. All right.
And in this case, it's just, fine.
Right, but we'll have that document.
Because we don't have separate finance offices for each.
I think we were here. Yes, yes.
And again, $5 for breakfast.
Yeah. See, oh, I just added, the language used to say conference calls, teleconferences. I just added video conferences. And
Yes,
this
of
has
course.
been an update since 2013, and now we have Zoom.
Oh, they say webinars.
And
Webinars is like.
Yeah. So that was that. And then travel outside, this is mirroring what we have above. Written approval from the president/CEO or their designee.
we had an extra space.
Looks like it. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And that's approved, and you'll update that when we actually approve it. Okay, great. That's that one. All right, last discretionary thought, right?
Yeah, while you pull that up, I just had a question for Lotta and BJ. So there's like references in the travel policy form to like, to forms. Are those linked where that document is linked ultimately, so people know like for the tax exempt form and all that stuff? Or do they have to go through the document we just did to get that? You know what I mean? I'm sure there's not a lot of overnights and
Oh,
out
I-
of
there's a
travel
link.
happening, but
Yeah.
like I have to use that form when I
It's a
come down for
hyperlink.
overnights.
We have the form separately.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure it's available to them in to
Right.
staff in some way.
But typically controller would have the tax forms, and if employee is submitting this information to the controller, the controller just can direct that, or CFO, or anyone,
To the
oh, no, yes,
So
to the form, yes.
We'll still make sure we have that.
Mhm.
After you finish this one, do you mind if we take a 5 minutes break? I just want to check it out. Twice a month.
You want to take a break now?
If it's not too much trouble for anyone.
Okay, can we do 5? Are we good on the last one?
I'll try and be back. in
I'm
time.
correcting this.
All right, we'll pause for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
It's not talking. Let's talk. Yes, generally it says you're fine. But you're unmuted.
All right. Are you guys up, still with us online?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
Great. All right, resuming at 6:53 PM. Last and final policy of the night, the policy for the use of discretionary funds. Start at the top. There was an additional language just citing to the public authorities law section. I think that's pretty standard. Or Megan, any comments there? All right. Moving on, Article 2 definitions. Looks like we had a strikeout. A lot of that, maybe that was you. Definitions below, following terms shall, for the purpose of this policy, have the following meaning, unless the context shall clearly indicate some other meaning is struck. Yeah, I guess that's kind of an extra language we do. No objections from me.
No.
Yeah. Bylaws shall mean the bylaws, and then we added in currently in effect and adopted by the corporation and approved by its board of directors. No objections from me?
No.
All right. We had defined corporation or REOC shall mean the Roselawn Operating Corporation.
We have it
Why
in the
did
first-
we strike that one?
Because we have it in the
Define
first
it.
paragraph.
I see.
Defined.
Redundant. Gotcha. Corporate, let's see, moving on. Directors shall mean the members of the board of directors of the corporation. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Discretionary funds shall mean, and then at the end, we have additional language here. We lowercase program. It's not a precise term. Yes. No objections from me? All right. Expenditure shall mean a payment of the corporation's possessions fund. Yeah. So just clean up here. It's fine. Designated officer shall mean we had either struck that the corporation's chief executive officer or another member of REOC staff or management designated by such, as such, by the CEO. If there is no CEO, which has happened before, then the designated officer shall mean another officer of the corporation appointed to that role by the board of directors.
Corporation could be capitalized.
No, that's not what it said. That's how it changed it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
good.
Yeah.
That was Mega's comment.
Well, the draft I have here doesn't have it modified. The way the language originally wrote was that if there's no CEO, then it's the chairman of the board of directors. And I objected to that because that's not really the job of the chairman of the board of directors, or any member of the board.
Yeah, but they got you.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I got it.
they took your.
Shoot, that's my.
Yep.
Yes, it's, that's your comment, yes.
What is that?
Why did it?
Designated officer shall mean the corporation's CEO.
I guess.
You're asking why is it designated officer the CEO and not the CFO?
Yeah, why isn't it, because it's money, why isn't it fiscal? Why is it CEO?
Was
Did
there?
you want that? That's the one.
Yes, I'm comfortable with that. I think it's important enough to have the CEO be the approver of this, but I defer to the
Okay.
governance committee. It does give the CEO the ability to designate it to someone else if it seems to be practical, but
I have a policy reason why. The CFO is in charge of the CEO is in charge of the actual running of the company. When we're talking about designated, here we're talking about discretionary funds. So it's the use of fund, it's beyond the scope of what the CFO should be doing. It's an actual determination of the ongoing policies and operation.
See that. I mean, everything ultimately dead ends to the CEO, so if we're talking discretionary funds, that makes sense. All right. Megan, anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. Article 3A, looks like we said fiscal officer, we said the designated officer, so that's just repeating the definition from above. Good there. And same change in C. I added this above X because the preceding line, we say, however, the designated officer is authorized to approve expenditures which are not included in that budget, provided they are not considered material, or if material, are reported to the directors at a subsequent regularly scheduled meeting of the directors. I have no problem with that proposition. I just want us to be clear about what material means.
I wasn't sure about the monetary.
I think-
This is because we put a 175 threshold that the board approves, but is $100,000 is not material, and I think it's too much for discretionary funds, because they said something is not included in the budget. It may be 50,000 or 30,000, but I don't think we can put a number here.
Yeah, no, it's different than the 175 threshold.
Right, it's different.
Yeah, it's because that's a matter of what requires board approval.
Right, it's in D. But
Yeah.
here, I wasn't even honestly sure.
I don't know either. I'd be
Maybe-
spitballing to just throw a number out there, but I think we can leave it as material, as determined by the CEO, or as determined by the designated officer, which is, I think, what kind of reads that now, right?
And it does have to be reported in this provision, so.
What the designated officer is authorized to approve
Cannot
expenditures.
consider material as determined by designated officer or if material reported to the director. So designated officer makes this determination if it's material or not material. Because it's not in the budget. So it's only.
Yeah, so I mean, it already says that, so I guess I don't need to have which are included in that budget, provided they are not considered material by the designated officer, can we say that much?
No, at the beginning of the sentence, we already said the
Oh, really?
designated officer
Yeah.
is
Well, we
already
say-
approving
Sure.
that are not material. So we cannot add this again.
Okay, all right, I see your point. So I'll resolve my own comment. If I can get to it.
No, we have it,
Okay,
so we can do it.
all right. Moving on.
Okay, so there. Okay, I mean, we don't need to define material, right?
No, I think the way that it reads is that the designated officer is authorized to approve anything that's not considered material, and so the designated officer is the one determining what's material and what's not material. So we're leaving it to their determination.
I'm sorry.
The designated officer. I'll strike that. So as opposed to putting a monetary amount to it. Mark, we'll leave it as the designated officer is gonna approve whatever is not material.
I mean, do we want to flip it that he is authorized to approve expenditures which are nominal or,
Yeah, not enough funds.
or non, yeah, so it's. Material is generally,
Something that's significant.
right. So do we want to, so right now it's, he's authorized to prove anything that's non-material.
Mm-hmm.
Do we just want to say anything that's minor?
I mean, it's kind of how it reads now.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is what.
or not considered material. I mean, the term material is so well litigated.
It is.
It looks like it's,
Materiality is always
yeah.
always an issue. Okay, well, I'm okay moving on from that. Let's, Megan, Mark, you have something?
No, and I think there's so few things that would be subject to this policy because there's like a lot of procurement law that we have to follow as a corporation, and
Right.
I think it material covers that. Because the next
Okay.
paragraph just outlines like all the limitations that have to come first before discretionary
Yeah.
funds are used. So I think we're covered.
Yeah, that's a good call out, yeah. So in D, right, it goes through this, we have this, all applicable statutes and regulations and other policies of the corporation must be adhered to as required when making discretionary expenditures. These include, but are not limited to, and then we have this laundry list. And at the end of that, we say the requirement to post published procurement opportunities on the corporation's website, the requirement to bring contracts valued at $175,000 or more to the directors for approval, which is already stated elsewhere, but we're saying it here explicitly again. So we're making it clear, like, we're talking about money that's really less than that, and just discretionary. Okay, I'm good with D. Megan, Mark, anything? Yeah,
No changes.
all right. Moving on. Then we're into
Corporation stuff.
E3. Just change the designated officer, just calling that out. We're fine. G, there's additional language. REOC may purchase or lease and assign cell phones, laptop computers, tablets, and other electronic devices and vehicles to its staff for business use. Oh, I added that, sorry, tablets. That was a technology upgrade.
Like if you say IT equipment,
Yeah, just in case it's something in addition to a laptop computer.
And by keeping the other electronic devices allowed to
Yes,
grow.
that's right.
So,
and vehicles are also in the same category as
Yeah.
IT equipment and vehicles.
And then I added this,
Well, actually, hold on, for the term vehicle, that,
That's really.
I guess that falls within the other contract.
yeah, that's the personal, vehicle policy.
But we also speak about travel reimbursements and free. So here, there's overlap actually, because we're talking about travel expenses, travel reimbursement, and that we can assign a vehicle to staff if it's personal owned vehicle used for business. So there is some overlap here with the travel by personnel and travel using of fuel vehicle.
Yeah.
Because these are all discretionary. That's why I set it up here. All your travels and everything.
I just made this, there was a reference error here. It should be 1C, not 1A. We're talking about how expenditures of non-personal services shall be made pursuant to the REOC budget unless otherwise approved and set forth in paragraph 1C. And in 1C is when we talk about how the designated officer is authorized to approve expenditures. Any thoughts on that? Good. Actually, still 13.
This is the edit.
We go up to.
Oh, yes, no credit cards, it's not added here because IT did not receive the copy. So you can safely remove this section in 13 under the no credit cards will be issued for ex offices. P cards, it's procurement cards that is allowed to be used by the,
So this.
Okay, what do you want to do?
so no credit card will be issued. We can safely remove it.
Strike?
Yes,
So we're striking this, okay.
yes.
This section is dealing with things that are not the.
And further, we need to, yes.
But are the P cards issued to an individual, or to to the corporation?
That's actually.
The
for-
P
for-
cards.
for department use, but individuals shall not be, the idea behind this no credit cards will be issued for individuals or individual employees, but there are P cards that are used by department
Yeah,
below $1,000.
okay.
Okay. Fine. And then last, you added some language here, further absent specific statutory power. Oh, sorry, at 613.
Further, we need to remove because it's without any further, so absent specific. Without further.
What are we doing here?
So,
So yeah, so we're in the section of 2, expenditures of discretionary funds that are not permitted. And within that, we have all this stuff. And then at the end, we say, absent specific statutory power, REOC may not use funds to purchase items considered personal expenses or that are intended to personally benefit an employee, a director, or management. Expenses such as those listed above do not advance a public purpose and should be considered personal in nature. So it's making explicit,
Okay.
no personal use.
Do we want to move this to the beginning of a discretionary, rather than have it,
Move what we just read?
rather than have this last paragraph at the end? Do we want to put it up top, under, in other words, we have all this list under A, we have,
Of what you can't do. use it for.
right, discretionary funds may not be expended for the following purpose. I mean, would it be better to say,
Personal expenses.
absent specific statutory power, REOC may not use funds to purchase items considered personal expenses or that are intended to personally benefit an employee, director, or management, expenses,
here,
discretionary funds such as those listed below may not be, do not advance public purpose and should, be considered personal in nature.
And you want to move it up to where?
it's Article 3(2), expenditure of discretionary funds not permitted.
No, he's talking about moving it.
No, what I'm saying is,
Yes,
take
we're
this
moving it on
paragraph,
top of this.
no, what I'm saying is take this paragraph
Mhm.
and merge it into this sentence.
The sentence is,
Discretionary funds. Now, if you have A and 1 through 13 are all subsections of A, I'm saying rather than have the last paragraph, define the prior 13 paragraphs, when we put in the introduction paragraph
oh, I see.
to that section.
But it should be here, so if
I see
we
what you
have
mean.
permitted expenses, and this talking about discretionary funds not permitted. I thought you want to move it here at the beginning, so the expenses below are not permitted, and then you list them on.
Yeah, put it under 2.
Under 2, yes,
Yes, I see what you're saying. Put it under 2, which is on page 3,
yes,
and then keep A by itself, so that this, I'm sorry, this is gonna take me a second. This becomes a modifier of this. And
Okay.
then we define all the things. It's important enough that we want it up front rather than anything.
All right, I'm with you. All right,
it's
so,
Article 3(2).
Megan, we were pointing at a lot of paper, so you probably didn't catch that. So we're gonna move this. I'm gonna cut that, and we're just gonna move it up.
Right.
to the beginning of section here.
Yes, exactly.
And I think you just have to change that last paragraph to say below and not above. Expenses such as those listed above do not advance the public purpose, so it should be below.
Yes.
But sounds good to me.
All right. Looks like it. All right, got it. And now everything else loads.
Yeah.
All right, now we got 2 through 13. No objections on the whistleblower and code of ethics on 13. All right, let's make sure. All right, I added this Article 5 enforcement, since my general thinking was, we say what all this discretionary funds shouldn't be spent on. We don't say what happens if you do it. And these are already independent obligations, obviously. If someone violates it, if you violate this policy, you're violating our code of ethics. I'm just making that explicit as a part of policy. We don't necessarily need this. This is more belt and suspenders. So I put a obligation. Oh, one of the things when I was looking through this policy, it doesn't make an obligation to report a violation. So I put an obligation to report if you see something, say something. I put a personal repayment. That's not in the policy, but I figured we could consider if you do spend REAC money, then you should pay REAC back. And then I added a mandatory ABO referral so that if there is a determination that someone violated the policy, the legal will automatically refer it to the ABO.
The ABO is Authority's Budget Office.
Yes, the authority's budget office, yeah. So that's the genesis of these 3 sections. I'll give you a second to read them.
I would say mandatory ABO referral because we are talking not only about ABO, but it could be Office of State Control, it could be Office of Inspector General. So in 3 instances.
And Attorney General potentially, right? Like it could, should ABO come out in that, the header
Right.
title?
From the header, we'll just remove.
We'll just say mandatory referral.
It's actually closely related to obligation to report because our policy, whistleblower policy and procedures, they actually set the protocol where we need to report, and it already has the Inspector General and State Controller. So, but and the whistleblower policy. So if you look at our REAC whistleblower policy, there's already, and there it's not obligation, it's kind of, you may report, but here, yeah. How is obligation to report is different from the mandatory referral?
Well, mandatory referral, I think, is part of the obligation to report. But if we're going to make an obligation, maybe it should be actual, not actual or potential violation.
Oh, I see.
Because if you're making it mandatory, we can't require.
Well, that's what. I say it's actual or potential because that's part of the investigative process. So at this stage, the obligation to report is to the internal. You're reporting to LADA, you're reporting to BJ potentially, you're keeping it in REAC. You're reporting any actual or potential. You don't know yet, and then there has to be an investigation. The investigation has to happen and make a determination. So this is different.
Okay.
Mandatory referral is if we determine there is a violation. So now we're not talking about potential anymore. We're talking about actual violation. Then we got to refer.
Yeah, we determined that a violation
Yeah,
I see.
Okay,
Can we put a good faith, though, or where in good faith,
where you at?
under the obligation to report?
Obligation to report. Okay,
Because aware in good faith of an actual potential violation.
okay, no problem. Get over there. There we go.
Aware in good faith of.
Okay, right there.
I'm a little sensitive that I have pro se litigant who keeps on
Yeah,
making complaints of
yeah, sure.
ethics department, and I keep on denying.
Anything else, sir? Yeah, Megan?
Nope. It was
Okay,
good additions.
all right. That's it. Yeah, thank you.
Do we, does that end?
And that is all of the public business of the governance committee today. We will, in a moment here, vote to go into executive session, and then after that, we'll come back on and close out the official governance committee meeting.
first,
So yeah, anything else, any housekeeping before we go in there?
so chair's motion for executive session is a part of open session, and then we.
We just need a motion to go
Yes.
to executive session.
Okay.
so we need to read it.
I'll need a motion to enter executive session to discuss a employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. Is there a second?
I second.
Second.
All right. All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right.
Okay,
All right, we are officially into executive session at,
technical minute to.
Did you
7:20.
stop recording?
And we will stop recording.